Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory unto the Heavenly Father, right? Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakach Wadash. And I want to give double honor to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at GMS. Shalom to you brothers that's preaching and teaching this truth in sincerity across the four winds of the earth. Just real fast, right? Headed home from the plantation and just wanted to do a quick hit the button before I, Lord willing, later go into this topic. Don't know what I'm going to say, don't know what we're going to talk about, but I will say this to start off. I am going to make a video. I said yesterday I was going to listen to that video that I did a reaction to from the Elder Manat Sakba of that one Christian versus 7 Hebrew Israelite women, or whatever the case, whatever that thing was, right? So I listened to majority of it today at work. I probably got about maybe 15-20 minutes left. I don't know exactly how much, maybe 30. But I listened to well over an hour. I'm more than halfway in. I just got a little bit left. And I think it's an hour and 41 minutes or something. So, I'm going to react to that because there's a particular thing that I want to, that was being talked about that I want to go into, right? But this just goes to show, right, while I'm on the topic, I guess is why I'll say this, right? This just goes to show, all right, what you're going to see, Lord willing, later. Why you women don't need to be teaching men, right? Everything has order, right? And in your role, right, is not to teach. Right, let me get Titus. One of my favorite scriptures to go into, man. And I need to get this in the NLT. Right, and that's the thing that we're all learning coming into this truth. Right, you understand that we're learning this truth. We're starting off as babes, right, newborn babes. Drinking the milk, because the milk is an important foundation before you start eating the meat. Right, and that is important with babies in their development. A baby don't come out the womb and you feed him French fries. You feed him sweet potatoes, right? Feed him steaks. They don't have the teeth. Their gums are super soft, super sensitive. They can't chew that. You see? So what do they start off with? Milk. And that milk gets all the nutrients and all the things important, right, for development. Right, in a stable foundation, right? The bones start to grow, right? The kid starts to grow, the teeth start to develop, start to get taller, the bones start to get stronger, so on and so forth. And that's exactly how we are in this truth. When we come into this knowledge, this truth, we start off as babes, right? Because we have to come and relearn everything, right, that we learned from Christianity or whatever walks of life that we come from, right? So it's no different when you're finding out, when you're Israelite. You have to put off Christianity. And as far as the women go, you have to put off that feminism, that where I'm on par, I'm equal with a man, I can do what he does, I can do bad by my... That has to get put off. That is one of the things that has to get put off. Because that is contrary to what the scriptures teach. And that's something that women just refuse to listen, refuse to put off, because they believe that they have a voice, right? And they need to be heard just as much as men, which is not the case, right? Everything has its lot. Everything has its order, right? Just like how the 144th, everybody's not going to be in the same playing field of the 144, right? Even the rest of the large multitude, they're not going to be equal with them. We're not going to be rewarded as much as the disciples and so on and so forth, right? There's order, right? There's rank, right? But in that, everything works together towards the body, right? That's why you got all these brothers, these beautiful brothers that's teaching and preaching the word, right? The true doctrine, right? Starting off with the elder apostles, bishops, right, of GMS. And when you watching brothers' videos, everybody has their own talent. Everybody has their own spiritual gift. Some brothers good with going into prophecy. Some brothers good with going into history. You know, some brothers good with the herbs. Some brothers good with this and science and knowledge and this and that. You see, everybody has their own function. But the function all goes together in unison for the body. Right? Just like how you have eyes. Your eyes don't have the same roles as your fingers. Your fingers don't have the same roles as your tongue. Right? Your hair don't have the same function as your taste buds. Like everything, all this stuff goes together to make up the body, and you women are a part of that. But your role is not to be on the forefront in teaching and preaching the word, man. You see, you have your role. Being on the front lines, going into the prophecies, going into the breakdowns, going into the highways and hedges. You're making the videos, the lessons throughout the week. That is not the woman's role, man. And I really, just hit the button. Get on the women right now, man. And it's not really, it's just, it's going to be a point in time to where that warning and us telling you to stop what you're doing, man. It's just not, we're not going to be here forever to try to warn you, man. And the Lord is not dealing with women on that level. Now let's get the Lord wanted me to talk about get on the woman again. Because I made a short video responding to that video from Element outside, but now I'm making another one. Until you let's see here. I gotta look up unto you, oh men. Right, this is Proverbs 8:4. It says, unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. Right, unto you, O men, I call. Right, so the ones that's called, right, to go into these prophecies, go into the highways and hedges, to make the videos, lessons, so on and so forth. Men. Right, they didn't say women. They didn't say the prophetess. And you women love saying the prophetess. No, unto you, O men, I call. And that's what's important, man. And there's nothing wrong with believing in order, man. You know, you women, you have to understand, man. You have to put off Babylon the Great, man. Put off Esau's philosophies and his nonsense, because that's going to lead you to death. And we constantly keep warning you and telling you about that. You see, there's nothing wrong with being number two. Right? You have your importance. Women are very important to the nation, right? Guy in the house, right? Being that it's a video that I did a reaction to a while ago, but it was a woman. She was saying that the women need to be, how they ask for a strong man to do this and do that, but she was saying that you women need to be, like, for an example, like when it rains, right? You weren't built, right, to withstand the rain, and so on and so forth. But she was like, you were meant to hold up the man, right, that was made to withstand the rain. And I think she gave a metaphor of holding the umbrella, or whatever the case may be, right? And so that is important, right? Being that pillar of the rest. When you go into the scriptures, when you read about your foremothers, right? Understanding the history, understanding what they did, right? Understand how they treated their husbands and so on and so forth. That's what you should be reading, and that's what you should be learning, right? Women, you got to put off that you want to be the same, on the same level as a man, man. That's just not what you were made to do. And we're not saying that women are not important. Women are extremely important, right? But you have important in what you were made to do. Just like how the men and their lot, how it's important for what the men to do. Right? So let's get Titus. Right? Titus 2. In the NLT. Right? It says, as for you, Titus, promote the kind of living, it says, that reflects wholesome teaching. Teach the older men to exercise self-control, to be worthy of respect, and to live wisely. It says they must have sound faith and be filled with love and patience. Similarly, it says teach the older women, it says to live in a way that honors the Most High. They must not slander others or be heavy drinkers. It says instead they should teach others what is good. Right? And that doesn't mean we go on the highway hedges and we're going to teach. No. No. It says these older women must train the younger women to love their husbands and their children, to live wisely and be pure, to work in their homes, to do good, and to be submissive to their husbands. It says, then they will not bring shame on the word of the Most High. In the same way, encourage the young men to live wisely. You see, it says, and you yourself must be an example to them by doing good works of every kind. Let everything you do reflect the integrity and seriousness of your teaching. Teach the truth so that your teaching can't be criticized. Then those who oppose us will be ashamed and have nothing bad to say about us. You see? So that is one of the roles, which is the main role. Guide the house and teach the younger women. Even right now, if Titus, just this, right, just what we read, if this was if this was a standard for the Israelite woman to be teaching the younger daughters to love their husband, do this, a lot of the problems would stop in the world. You got these young women that's watching that single parent household, that's watching their mom go out every weekend, going to the clubs, dressed out half naked, and bringing a new boy over to the new man over to the house every month. You see, so they're watching and seeing what their aunties, their mothers, and the cousins, right? They're seeing what they're doing, and they're like, okay, well, this is okay. They're doing it, right? You can't be, as an auntie, you can't be auntie going out to the club, dressing half naked, and then tell your niece to, no, don't go to the club, don't dress half, don't do this. Because they're going to be like, okay, you're telling me not to do it, but you do it, so why are you telling me not to? You see? And that's why it says, right, let everything you do reflect the integrity and seriousness of your teaching, right? Because you got to understand that when you see, when you are seeing, right, and also hearing the proper teachings from your auntie, cousin, mother, whatever the case may be, then you take it serious because, okay, my auntie, my mom, whatever the case may be, is telling me not to do this, and she doesn't do it, so I'm not going to do it. You see, but in some cases, you're just going to have a rebellious ass kid, so you ain't going to do that. But a lot of the teachings would stop if women would, or a lot of the bad things that happen and the niggatry that our children grow up in, right, or the Israelite kids grow up in, right, would stop if these things were taught and you wouldn't be, they stopped being raised by Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and all these niggas. That would stop. You see, but instead, Esau has it to where these celebrities are indoctrinating the kids and pretty much raising them with BS and philosophies, right? And they know to target the women, right? Because that is going to really help further destroy the nation, man. And Esau is using you women, and then eventually he's about to throw you aside, which he's slowly starting to do now. You see? And you going on podcasts, you going on these damn debate on one Christian versus 7, and half of them, all of them actually, was bugged the hell out, in which I'm going to get into it later, right, Lord willing. But all of them were bugged out. Didn't know what the hell he was talking about. The lady that was trying to prove her point didn't know what the hell she was talking about. It was just a whole bunch of 7 women, right, ironically, right, 7 women, or 8 women, I believe, including the Christian lady, all right? 8 women that had no clue what the hell they was talking about. Now, there were some points here and there that was being said that, okay, but it doesn't matter. You should not be doing that, man. That is not your role. And we're going to keep telling you this, right, until eventually the Lord shuts our mouths. And then you want to be a prophet, you want to be on the highways and hedges doing this, you want to go on these debates doing it, we're going to find out. Right, and when shit hits the fan, we're going to see if you're going to have that same mentality. Even the Israelite men not supposed to be going on shows debating and doing all that shit. You know, Captain that started Al-Azhar. They was always doing them debates, Deacon and his minions. Right? Now you got Captain Zaryak doing it. Right? And women are following in like manner. So all of it's just off. All of it. Right? But sooner or later, right, you're going to learn. Oh, sooner rather than later, I should say. You see? But this is what happens when you listen and you don't believe in order. Order. I'm just going to leave it at that. Order. You see? And there's a reason why it was told for the woman to be quiet in the churches. Right? If you want to learn anything, you have a question about something, you ask your husband at home. There's a reason why that's being said. You see? So that's pretty much it. I reached my destination. All right. Lord will I be back again with another video. I just wanted to do a little quick hit, and I guess the Lord wanted me to get on the women again. You see? But we're gonna go into that video, Lord willing. I keep saying it here in a little bit, right? So